Well, let's hit Matthew chapter 2. Thanks for staying with me. We finished the first chapter. So let's pick up here in chapter 2. This talks about the birth of Jesus. So, after Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea, during the time of King Herod, Magi from the east came to Jerusalem and asked, "Where is the one who has been born King of the Jews? We saw his star when it rose, and we have come to worship him." When King Herod heard this, he was disturbed, and all Jerusalem with him. When he had called together all the people's chief priests and teachers of the law, he asked them where the Messiah was to be born. "In Bethlehem in Judea," they replied, "for this is what the prophet has written. But you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah. For out of you will come a ruler who will shepherd my people, Israel." Then Herod called the Magi secretly and found out from them the exact time the star had appeared. He sent them to Bethlehem and said, "Go and search carefully for the child. As soon as you find him, report to me, so that I too may go and worship him." After they had heard the king, they went on their way, and the star they had seen when it rose went ahead of them until it stopped over the place where the child was. When they saw the star, they were overjoyed. On coming to the house, they saw the child with his mother Mary, and they bowed down and worshipped him. Then they opened their treasures and presented him with gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh. And having been warned in a dream not to go back to Herod, they returned to their country by another route. Something interesting about all this, three things stand out in my mind. One is Magi in the East. Magi is an old word that just means wise ones, elders basically, wise ones, rabbis, diviners, men who read the times is the way they were looked at, so to speak. They could look at the signs of the times and begin to tell you, here's what God's up to. It says they were in the East. Well, how in the world would a bunch of Jewish wise men get into the East? Well, if you remember any of the Old Testament, you remember at one point Israel rebelled against God, and they were captured first by the Assyrians in the north, and then later by the Babylonians. Both times the Assyrians and the Babylonians took large amounts of the Jewish population and forcefully moved them to Assyria first and then to Babylon. There was a large Jewish population in what is today modern Iran and Afghanistan and Iraq. This Jewish population in those days carried with them the Word of God. They created the synagogue while they were in captivity there in Babylon. In fact, they got the word Jew while they were in captivity in Babylon because they were from the land of Judea, so they came to be called Jews. Not all Jews left and migrated back to Israel when Israel was rebuilt. So a lot of Jews continued to live in what today is modern Iran, Iraq, and Afghanistan. How about that? So that's where they came from. They were still paying attention to what God was up to. King Herod is another interesting guy. King Herod actually killed children, slaughtered children more than once in his reign. He was a brutal man. He was trying to get the Magi to do his own secret work for him to go find where the child was. God had a better idea. God had a better idea. God kept them from revealing that. God used a dream to tell them where to go, and they followed that. Maybe sometimes God might speak to you in a dream. Don't discount it. God hasn't quit talking. Thanks.